Hello, YouTube. Ashley is back from her world tour, or, U.S. tour. I'm back. I'm under 200 pounds. It's pretty amazing. I never know what to say in these videos anymore. I guess I'm just busy, living life, not worrying about food as much. Although that's not true. I mean, I don't worry about it in the same way that I did before, where I was always worrying about eating too much and gaining weight and stuff. Now I pretty much know that I'm going to be losing weight. I consistently lose 2 pounds per week, even while we were on tour, and I didn't know what I was going to be eating, and I just had to eat kind of what was around that would go down. I still managed to lose 2 pounds per week. So I don't know, for me it's gone really smoothly. I noticed that for other people they have to really keep track of what they're eating and their exercise routine and staying focused and staying on track. And for me, I just have to make sure that I eat things that go down and that I get in enough protein and stuff. And other than that, the weight just comes off. I mean, things just, I keep buying clothes and they don't fit after a couple weeks, and that's been frustrating. People are like, oh, shouldn't it be really exciting that you don't fit any of your clothes anymore? And I'm like, you would think that. You would think that. But really I just want an outfit that fits me and that looks good. And a pair of pants would be great. A pair of jeans that fit well. I just bought these maybe 2 weeks ago. I was wearing 38s, if you remember, in my second to last video. And I left those in Portland on tour because we were leaving stuff all over the place. And there's no way those would fit me now, because by the time I got to the store to buy another pair because it was cold and I needed pants, I'm in 36s, and I fit 34s too. So I mean, I try and buy pants that are really, really tight, so that when I get them, they're tight for a week or two, and then they're just regular pants, and then they're loose, and then I have to go and get new pants. So it's annoying. It's annoying more than rewarding. I love shopping, but I'm not a solid size yet. I just keep changing, so I don't have a lot of clothes that fit me or that look good on me right now, and it won't be until I kind of find a stopping point that I'll be able to really enjoy buying clothes and stuff like that. But I had an interesting experience going to get a fill about a week ago. I got back from tour, and that was 5 weeks, and so I was like, man, 5 weeks without a fill, I should go in and get a fill, because I felt like I could eat a pretty big dinner. I made meatloaf, and I had 2 plates of meatloaf. I mean, granted, those are plates like this, and a piece of meatloaf like this. But for me, that was a lot. I was like, wow, this is going down really easy. And my standards just keep dropping and dropping and dropping. Now a lot of food for me is a piece of meatloaf like that. That's wow, how did I eat all that? Whereas before I could have 4 or 5 pieces of meatloaf and sides and bread and dessert and probably more than that if I wanted to really push myself. But yeah, my standards just keep dropping, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot. I'm eating a lot in the evening. So I go to get a fill because I'm like, hey, it's been 5 weeks. And I go there and they're like, so how much are you eating, and are you doing any throwing up? And I'm like, oh yeah, I throw up a lot. I do. Stuff gets stuck a lot. And I got a fill right before I went on tour, and there was a lot of throwing up on tour. I mean, I don't think of it as a crisis thing or something that's bad when it's happening. I just kind of have accepted it as a part of my life. That, if I go too fast or I take too big of a bite, or if it's a food that just my body is not accepting, then I'm going to be in the bathroom throwing up for a while until things settle down. And that can take an hour to 2 hours depending on if my stomach's really upset or not. But I just kind of accepted that that was the way that things were going now. And I told the nurse this, and she's like, oh, well, I can't give you a fill because throwing up is bad. You're not supposed to be throwing up, and every time you throw up, there's the risk of the band slipping, and then it's just not effective, the lap band process. Like, you won't feel proper restriction, you won't be able to eat properly, and then you have to have corrective surgery on that. So she's like, you don't need a fill. In fact, you're probably too tight. We should take some fluid out. But I was like, I don't know, I've been dealing with this fill for 5 weeks now, and it's not the end of the world or anything. I mean, there are days where I can't eat anything. I just drink smoothies from Jamba Juice with the protein boost and the daily vitamin boost. But I didn't think it was weird. I didn't think it was bad. And since I have one meal a day where I can actually eat a good amount of food, I felt like I was eating too much and that I needed a fill. And I really need to check myself on that stuff and make sure I'm not getting too obsessive about it, because now I'm used to losing 2 pounds per week. I expect it. And if it were to slow down, or if I were to hit a plateau, I think I'd really push myself to be like as tight as I could possibly be. Whereas even right now, and I still haven't had a fill, it's probably been 7 weeks now, maybe 8, without a fill, and I had a cup of food today. That's how much food I ate, and a smoothie, because that was all that would go down. And yesterday nothing went down. I threw up everything that I ate. Look how much bigger my cat is. I remember when you were in a video a long time ago and you were teeny. But so yeah, just keeping myself in check and keeping realistic goals. And I don't really keep track of like how much protein I'm eating or how many calories I'm eating, and maybe I really should, because I don't think that I'm eating a lot of calories, especially on the days where I throw up, because then it's really hard to keep track of how much actually stayed down and how much came back up. And, you know, was that protein or vegetable or whatever, I don't know. So I was happy that they didn't give me my fill, because it kind of gave me a good guideline. Like, we don't want to be throwing up all the time. We don't want to be so tight that we can't eat anything. And I have to remind myself of that. Because for me, it was really, when I got surgery, I just accepted that it was a trade-off. You know, I got to be a lot more rigid about what I could eat and the foods that I could actually consume and enjoy and not feel guilty about. And then the throwing up and being uncomfortable if I ate too much, you know, that was the trade-off for me. I get to lose weight and look the way that I've always wanted to look and have control over my eating and my body, and I throw up a lot. That was kind of the trade-off for me, the discomfort of the throwing up. I just kind of accepted that was the way that it was, and not eating bread and all that stuff. But you know, it doesn't have to be like that. I should be able to eat small amounts of food and feel fun. Are you coming up? And feel okay, and not be such a Nazi about it. So I'm going to try and focus on that. I'm at about 191 to 192 pounds right now. So I've lost almost 50 pounds. I started at 240. And the hair loss thing, that is for real. When they tell you that